All right, guys, I'm working on the seats now. These are the two rear bottoms, and I figured they'd be the easiest one to start off with. So, and they're dirty as heck, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up just to make it to where it's not so dirty for me. And then I'll end up cleaning up all this metal piece, shoot paint on it, and then along each one of these things, the hog rings, I'm gonna end up cutting them off, peeling it off, and then I'll go ahead and get the black ones that I've got to put on in its place. But yeah, so hopefully these go smooth, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that hard, but a lot of things sometimes don't look that hard, and then they turn out to be a little bit more complicated. But I just wanted to start off it showing you how these looked. They're all dirty, just from sitting around, dust in the garage. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean those up, and then we'll get started. All right, guys. I pulled the seat cover off of one of them just to kind of see what I was getting into. And here's the second one. So I got these goggles on because those hog rings, they end up flying. And I don't want to get hit in the eye because it's hard to tell where they go sometimes. But I just go around each one of them. I find a hog ring, snap it. Now I've never put a hog ring on, so I'm probably going to struggle putting it on because you got to get it through that little loop. You see, there's a little piece right there. And this back part was a little tricky on the other one just because of the way it's kind of doubled up. There's a pad or the flap, and then underneath the flap there's another one. There goes one. Got to get these up so I don't run them over. Well, I ain't got nothing driving in here right now, but my hope is at some point I'm going to have something driving in here. There we go, come on. There we go. You see how my workbench is basically that sawhorse with a cardboard on it. So it could, if it falls through, you're gonna have to bear with me. Sometimes there's more than one. There's like 3 of them on this one right there. There we go. Break loose. All right. So, and even though I snap it, just because of the shape it's in, if it doesn't, you gotta sometimes twist it to get it to come out. But I mean, it'll come out easy. Now, I'm sure the proper way to do this is, once you get this off, is to unconnect the cushion from the metal frame. But I didn't do that on the last one. I kind of just sanded all that down and then just sprayed on it. So there's some black spray paint on the bottom of this cushion on the other one. There we go. Now this is the part that they really double it up. See, this is the flap that they got, and then there's another one that goes underneath it that comes up and ties into the seat springs. Let's see what we got going on here. And then here they got like about 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a lot of them. They wanted to make sure that this side wasn't coming off. Kind of whatever my little grip things can grab a hold of, that's what I'm hitting. There we go. Because sometimes it's so close to the other spring, and it's kind of hard for me to grab without but it's coming now. All you gotta do is sometimes get one little angle in there. Once you get one, sometimes they fall like dominoes. There we go. There we go. And then we got on here. Yep. Alright. And then it looks like what they did was they hooked the spring to the cushion itself. Like I said, I don't really want to take off the cushion from the spring, because I didn't know if it was gonna. Okay. Yeah, they got about freaking 100 of these little hog rings right on that one corner. So I don't know if they were messing up or if they just want to make sure it's really secured. I don't remember it being on the other one. It may have been. Alright. So I think, let me see. It's loose. It just needs to be. It's off, it's off, it's off. And from the looks of it, when I put it back on, I'm going to slide it in from the front, because it just seems to make the most sense. There you go. And there goes one of the springs. Overall, you see all the rust coming out of that thing. The surface rust. It's not bad though. It looks worse than what it really is. And this is the actual seat cover. But now, what I'll do is I'll clean this up. I'll start to prep this. I have a wire wheel. I'll prep it and then spray it with rust killer and then paint, which was, I think I used Rust-Oleum. But, all right guys, I'm gonna leave you here for now, and then I'm gonna clean this up and then I'll pull you back in a little bit later. Later. All right, so here's the cover for the back piece. Now, to try to figure out how this is gonna go on. I think I'm gonna try, because they've already got it folded, just gonna see if it will do it this way. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to unfold it. I was thinking maybe I could just fold it over, but I think what's better is just to get the thing folded in the right direction and slip it on like I was originally thinking of. Alright, so slide it on this way, and I'm assuming it's going to be a little tight just because, well, it should be, right? You don't want it there. Yeah, that's nice. Pull it in, suck it around. Let's see what it looks like on the top. Still needs to get pulled backwards, I think. And I can feel a little bit of room up front. work it around, get it to slide. Yeah. Oh yeah, that works, that works, that works. The back piece is really the tight part, really, for me. It's like, it doesn't want to slip in, but the front side pieces are going over pretty nicely. So this will be the one that goes over top of this to clean it up, and then this one is the one that comes down. And yeah, I got space in here, so I need to figure out how to get it to come around. Yeah, I got space up there. It's probably just grabbing the cushion and not allowing me to pull it back as easy as I want it to. Huh. Almost feels like it's too small. I'm going to try my hand on hog ring in the top real quick. That way it doesn't slide on me. And then I can work on the back. So this will be the first time I ever hog ring anything. It's in there. I gotta get it over the hump. Right there. Well, that's the first hog ring. Probably do a couple more on the front just to give it some extra. That wasn't too bad. This hog ring piece, just it's actually reverse spring, so you got to force it open on this pair of pliers. It fits in these little pockets, and then it just sits there like that, and then you just line it up to what you're trying to hog ring. Actually, it's quite ingenious the way they set this up, and I know they figured this out long before I was born, but yeah. I was hoping or expecting this to slide on much easier, kind of like a car seat. But it didn't. Seems like the cushion is just a little longer than the the leather or the cover, but it might be just needs to be worked in somehow. That's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume it just needs to be worked in. If I can get this front pinned, that should keep it in place while I pull the back into place. Man, this hog ring thing just works slick. I thought I was going to wrestle with it a little more than what I am. Maybe see if I can try to show you what I'm doing here. So that little hole right here is where I got a hog ring. That hole. So there's some piping underneath this, and you want to grab a hold of the piping, so you put it around that. And then I just take the other end of this and I put it in the back side of that where that hole's at. And then when I pull it together, it snatches that freaking, actually works out really well. Works out really well. All right. Now that is, this is the part that this part's a pain in the butt. Because I'm not close. At least I don't think I'm close. And what I did and what I shouldn't have done is I was yanking on this to pull it, and I think I kind of stretched it or ripped it really. This piece is hard. This is the piece that you're supposed to yank down under and clip it to the bottom. So I'm gonna have to be cognizant of that and try to pull it from this. All right, I have to stand it up to get it to come through, so I can push down on the cushion this way, and it helps, and it gets this piping right where I need it to be. So I'll get it right where I need it to be, and then I'll zip it with my hog ring plier. This is good to know about this hog ring plier, because I've got a whole set of upholstery that I've got to make and do for my 50 Ford. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. Push it down to get the springs. You know what I didn't do? I might have to undo it, because what I'm not is centered totally perfect. And not being centered is not good. So I'm going to have to cut the hog rings, but that's okay. Close my eyes, because that thing, I don't even know, oh, there it went, right there. So I'm reloaded. Now I'm going to center it up so that the top of this and the top of this is centered, because the way I was I was off crooked like this, and it wasn't going to do well with the way the seat was going to go. So that's right there. That's good. So I'll push it down, wrap it around, and get there we go. Get it right there. come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm wrapping up a spring. I don't want to wrap up a spring. Maybe I'll wrap up a spring for right now. Am I centered? Yeah, I'm centered now. So I just had to readjust myself a little bit, get the seat cover centered up in the back. Get the cushion, pull it in. Get the hog ring. There we go. You definitely want to get it over that piping because that piping keeps the metal, there's piping that go through these some of these seams, and that's what you're going to use to go around, because you want this to get behind that piping. It keeps it from ripping the material, otherwise it would just eventually just rip out, and you don't want that. So this kit I bought, what is it? Work Pro. I don't even know what the name of it is. Yeah, it's Work Pro. I guess that's the name of it. This hog ring plier kit. I bought this on Amazon, and it came with some hog rings, and then I bought extra because I wasn't sure how many I was going to need, but it doesn't look like I'm going to need that many. There we go. There we go. So the back is starting to come into fruition. It's not as I guess, well, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as easy and straightforward as I thought it was going to be, just because, and I guess I shouldn't have expected it to be. There's always something that holds people up, but I think it might be the material, the cushion, a little bit of everything. Just, it's not that hard once you get going, but come on now. Oh, I missed it. I missed it. Okay, I'm going to pull that one out. I just wasted that one. But I want to make sure I get around that piping. I'll do one more on each corner, and then I'll call that for the back good. Well, for that piece, because I still have the strap, that beauty strap, this thing that comes down. The one thing I will say about these pliers, that they are working well. But what I just noticed is that the handle is twisting on it. Like you know how sometimes you get rubber handles and they're not so great quality, and they'll start twisting on you. All right. So this is the part that you can see that it hasn't gone up in there yet. So I think it might be just tucked up, and it just needs to be tucked up in there. That might be what it is. That it just needs to be tucked up in there. It's kind of the bolster of the seat. It needs to get 2. All right. So tell you, this is not fitting on as easy as I thought it was, but we're gonna get it. We're just gonna wrestle it a little bit. So I'm gonna start doing the side one now, because I've got 2 back there. I've got 2 on that side. All right, so I messed up the first one. Had a phone call and I kept working, but I started with the second one, and the second one turned out perfect. And so what I'm doing is I'm undoing the first one, because one of the things that I didn't happen so well on the first one is these back pieces didn't go over this. Well, on the second one, I started from the back and used the front to flip over last, and it worked. It's still tight, 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 but it worked better for me on that one to do slide it over the back and then use the front, and then I ended up kind of pushing it on a corner and pushing the spring down to get that last corner over, because it is tight. I'm going to turn off the video for right now because I got to charge the camera back up, but it's essentially the same thing. I'm just undoing this to redo what I did, but I'm going to start from the back. All right, guys. All right, so I got this cover off the first seat, and I'm not going to say it's easy because it's still a pain in the butt, but it worked on the second seat to put the back end in first and then the front end. And then I was able to get one corner on in the front, and then the other corner was the hard one, but through contortion, and I just got to make sure that it's, see there, it's already starting to slide up, but you want that seam to be right there. So what I'm going to probably do, just so it don't slip on me, well, no, I don't want to do that because I didn't do it on the other one. This one's fitting on nice in the back. This one, I'm going to walk it to the front. So I already got one of these corners on the front, most of the way. And then, if you're wondering what happened to my finger, the one of those hog rings, I didn't see it. One of the rusted ones that I had cut off was still sticking out of the cushion, and I grabbed a hold of it, and it sliced my finger open. But we'll be good. All right. Pull it on this side, and this is the corner that the last corner is the corner that is the hardest, just because of how it sits. Just like anything else, once you I might hog there. I'm just going to temporarily hog ring that one because it keeps wanting to slide, and I don't know if it's sliding because it was already on and it's kind of preformed to that. I'm just going to do one quick tack right on this corner so that it doesn't undo itself when I'm trying to do the front. And I can always cut that one back off because this one's on tight. It's this one. All right, so what I did last time is, because I'm on this last corner, this one's on, that one's on, this one's on, and it's the last corner, whatever your last corner is. But what I found was to do the front last. Earlier in the video, I started with this, and that's why I had the mess in the back. So I tucked these into the pocket, tuck that one on, and then whichever your last corner is, and it can be either one of these, I put it on an angle. I don't know if you can see this. Put it on an angle, and then I push down to kind of contort the the spring, because that's really what you're fighting against, is the spring. It's just got so much. You gotta get that spring to the last one, I didn't even think it was going to get on, but all of a sudden it just popped. So I'm hoping that's what happens here. Almost. And I'm sure there's somebody knows a better way to do this, but I gotta get it over the spring, and I think I almost have it over the spring. There we go. It's over the spring. So now, suck it down. There we go. Whew. Now, you can see, oops, my magnet stuck to the thing. Okay, you can see all four corners are on now, and then it's just back to zipping it back up with the hog rings, which I'm not going to sit here and bore you with. But so I finished that one, second one, and I came back, took all the hog rings off, and I redid it just so I can get a cleaner job. All right, guys. One other thing I want to show you is when you're trying to get this piping close to it, I use a small pair of pliers and I just pull it, and then I use my other hand to hog ring it, because sometimes trying to grab it with your fingers and pulling it when it's tight won't work. But if you grab it with this, you can just pull on it and it will get there. Alright, so I got them both rear ones recovered, re-popped, or hog ringed, I should say. So now I'm going to work on this back piece. So I got to clean it up just like I did the other one. I'm going to vacuum it down. There's some dust, and then I have to clean the underneath, take off the cover, and then clean it down, paint it before I put the rear cover on for this one. So let me go back to cleaning it and start taking that stuff apart, and then I'll bring you back in when I'm getting closer. Later on. All right, guys, I accidentally, well, I went to go pick my kid up from school. When I came back, I started popping this cover on, and I realized I wasn't filming. But it went on real easy. A little tight on the corner, but it popped right on. So really all I'm going to do is ensure it's centered up. And then, which it is, I've got this center piece in the back, and you center it up, and then you're going to just hog ring it on. And from then it looks like it's easy, because it didn't give me the same issue that the little ones did. But I'm going to go through here and just pull, so the seams are on the side here. I'm just going to pull it up, bring it over, and snatch it in. And I'll do it on both sides of this bar, just so it's got equal pull. All right, guys, it's been a day or so since I've last videoed, and I've done a few things because I got caught off guard. I bought some speakers, and I thought I was just going to drop them in and it'd be all fine, but Said 6x9 speakers, fits Pontiac. I wasn't looking to try to make it any more difficult than it already could be. So I got 6x9s and they wouldn't fit. So I ended up having to carve up the package tray to get them to fit in. But now I've got them all bolted in. The glass is just laying here. I put the tape over it to keep dust and dirt from getting in the cracks and the seams as well. So I've got the back seats that you've already seen. That back seat piece is in. I had put dynamic, well, sales, I don't know how it sounds, sound deadening all through the front and back on both sides. And then I pulled out the carpet and I lay in the carpet in. I did not know that you had to cut out the centerpiece where the shifter's at. So I've got to get it lined up and then try to make some marks to get the shifter. I'm not taking the shifter out, so I'm going to cut a square patch out around it. And well, I got to cinch up the carpet up so it's fitting to where it's supposed to fit, and then I'll cut out a patch, and that center console is going to cover everything up anyway. But I thought it would have been pre-cut because it asked me, is it for automatic or stick? So when I ordered it, my assumption would be if you're asking if it's automatic or stick, it's for the holes, but apparently not. But anyway, and this carpet is, I'm trying to remember which one I got. It's the ACC, but I think it's the, where's it at? There you go, right there. Mass backing. That's the exact carpet that I got in there. So, yep, it's a camel colored floor, and then I'm gonna, I've got the black seats, and then I'll order some front black bucket seats for the front. You know, I thought about covering those black, but like I said, I want to do something different with the front seats and something more comfortable. Those Corbeau that I have in my Bronco, are super comfortable, super comfortable. So I want something that go along those lines. But all right, guys, let me get back to wrestling this thing, and then I'll bring you in when I'm a little further along. But just wanted to show you, speakers are in, wired up, wires sitting here. So as soon as I get this carpet cut and laid down, what I'm going to end up doing is taking those wires and I'm not even running them. I'm just going to jump them straight to the radio, power the radio, and just make sure that the radio works, and then I'll throw a cassette in there, and hopefully the cassette works. If not, I'll have to probably get another deck. Well, I've got another deck. But all right, guys, later on. All right, guys, I'm going to close this video out. I just finished testing the stereo to make sure that the speakers were hooked up properly. So I've got like all kinds of, let me see if I can turn the light on for you. I got all kinds of alligator clips hanging on. That's my ground alligator clip, speaker wire. So, and this is the deck I have. It's just an old, now the light's too much. Yeah, there we go, right there. So that's the old deck I had. The speakers that I got are these Kenwood Concert Series. They say max 650 watts. I forget what the actual operating wattage was. It was 150 or 200. I forget what it was. But I put them in, and like up to about a third of the volume, it sounds, and it's only got 2 speakers in the back, but it sounds pretty good. But after I go past that, it starts to distort. Speakers are all tied in tight, so I felt that. I read somewhere that if you're not sending enough power to a more powerful speaker, if it's not balanced, it could do that. So I'm gonna have to troubleshoot it a little bit, but the music plays like, it's got maybe I'll insert a clip here. but it's got music. So I just wanted to make sure the wiring was working and that I found which wires were underneath the dash, because I had cut wires that were still hanging that I was unsure of. But I've got them all, I believe, got them all. The dash lights, or not the dash lights, the radio power, and then the radio radio light power, I should say. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna close this video out. I've got the back seats in, the carpet's in, cut. I took out the center console for the time being until I get closer, because I'm gonna need that out to do more stuff. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.